Hello everyone, welcome to the new class. Till the previous class, we had discussed about the quantum mechanical model and some of its important features. In today's class, we will discuss about the types of quantum number that we had discussed earlier: the principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and magnetic orbital quantum number, represented by letters N, L, and M. We will discuss about this today. First and foremost important thing we need to understand is that the orbit and orbital are two different concepts. Okay, orbital actually is of very small size or very small size, where more and more electrons get a chance to enter into it, but orbit is something where electrons are very higher in amount and can has its own particular specifications. What we are discussing today is about the quantum numbers of orbital. Do not mistake yourself, do not get confused yourself with orbit and orbital. Both of these are different. We are studying about the quantum numbers related to the orbitals, right? So first thing, we will study what is the principal quantum number, or what is the representation of this letter n for any orbital. Principal quantum number is nothing but the size, or the size of an orbital. The size, the energy that an orbital possesses is known as the principal quantum number. It is always represented by the letter n. Okay, so this principal quantum number, or this n, represents the shell of the particular orbital. We know that if we have an electron, and so this principal quantum number n represents the size and the energy of a shell. Shell means, in the sense, if this is the nucleus and we have some orbits surrounding it, then this orbit has its own orbitals present, and this shell n, this principal quantum number n, represents the shell. This is the first shell, this is the second shell, third, fourth, fifth, it will go on. The first shell is known as k. I will use with another letter. First shell is known as, not this, first shell is known as k, second shell is known as l, third shell will be m, n, o, p, it will go on. We know that the closer, how much closer the particular shell will be, that much energy, or that much energy shift will be occurring with the electrons present here and the nucleus, because we know that electron is negatively charged particle, nucleus overall is a positive charged particle because of the presence of the proton. So there will be an attraction between nucleus and the electron. So the closer the electron, the higher the energy of the orbital which is present near the nucleus. The far it goes, the energy gets reduced. Okay, but also the energy of the orbital can be thought in a different way, which is the energy of shifting. Energy shifting, if we consider the thing energy shifting, as the increase of n happens, if the value of n increases, energy shifting will be increasing. So the shifting of energy means, we know, we had studied in the Bohr's atomic model that from higher state of energy level to the lower state of energy level, the electrons might shift, the energy might shift. So the shifting of the energy level as the size of n increases, k, l, m, n, if it is the nth shell, it will be having the highest energy shift value. Okay, no need to go for that much in depth. Just think about one thing. Principal quantum number represents the shell number, or the size and energy of the orbit. Second one, orbital azimuthal quantum number. What is this azimuthal quantum number? Azimuthal quantum number is represented by L. It is also represented or known as orbital angular momentum or subsidiary quantum number. Both of them it is known. It is always found out by the value of L equals n minus 1, which means it will have the value from 0 to L equals n minus 1, the value of L, which means if you have the value of n as 1, if the value of n is 1, means if it is k shell, suppose I will show with you that example. If the value is n is 1, the L value will be 1 minus 1 0, means it will have only one sub shell. That is the meaning of this azimuthal quantum number. This actually defines the shape of the orbital. It actually only defines the shape of the orbital, which means if you have the first shell with you, then the first shell will have only one subshell. The first shell will have only one sub shell. That is the that is what it means with the value of n L is equal to 0. If the value of n is 2, the value of L will be 0, sorry, it will start from 0 and 1, which means this L will have two subshells, so it will go on, right? It will be going on. See, you can see with the help of the example, if the value of n will be 1, then there will be one subshell. If the value of n is 2, if n is 2, then there will be three subshells. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. 0, 1 will be the two subshells, sorry. And if the value of n is 3, it will be have three subshells. 1, 0, 1, 2 will be the three subshells present in it. Okay, each subshell is represented by particular name. Each subshell will have its own name. If the L 0, 1, 2, 3 each has its own name, you can see it here. If it is 0, it will be S subshell, 1 P subshell, 2 D subshell, 3 F subshell, 4 G subshell, 5 H subshell. It will go on. We will see with an example. Suppose we have a value of n equals 1 and L equals 0. N equals 1 means the first shell, L equals 0 means what it meant, it is the first subshell S. So 1S, the subshell will be 1S, right? Suppose we have n equals 4 and L equals what we say as 3, suppose. So n equals 4 means 4, L equals 3 means what we said about 3 is it is of F subshell. For 4F, the subshell will be 4F. It will go on. It will go on like this. So value of n means it is a principal quantum number. It says the size and energy of the shell. Azimuthal quantum number tells about the shape of the orbital as well as the number of subshell a shell might have. It is always calculated at 0 to n minus 1. So we understood both these concepts about principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number. Next thing we need to understand is the magnetic quantum number or magnetic orbital quantum number. It is represented mainly as M, but for the significance of study we have to study it as ML. Okay, it actually represents the orientation of the orbital. Orientation of orbital means it is tilted to which axis. Is it we have this three-dimension scenario, XYZ axis. So towards which axis is the orbit tilted? Is it towards the x-axis? Is it towards the z-axis? Is it towards the y-axis? According to the three-dimensional geometry, which axis towards is it tilted or oriented? That is represented by the magnetic orbital quantum number. It is always represented by ML as I told you, and it is shown by 2L plus 1 values. It has the 2L plus 1 values of subshell. For any L values, it will have 2L plus 1 subshells, which means if we say with an example, suppose L is equal to 0, then what will be the value of ML? As I told you, it will be 2L plus 1, which means it will have the values of 0. It will start from a negative, it will start from negative value towards the end of the positive value. Okay, so it will have, as it is 0, you don't have a negative value for 0. Okay, so 0, it will have a value of 0. Also it will have the value of, if you put the value inside it, you will get the value of 1. So you will get ML value as 0 and L. That means, what does it mean actually? L is equal to 0 was represented towards what? S orbital, right? S subshell. S subshell can have two more subshells. That is what it actually defines, or that is what it actually means. Okay. Thus, this particular S subshell can permit up to two subshells, or it can place up to two total number of two electrons. Each orbital will have two electrons. This S, P, D, F, G, H. We only need to study only this about these structures, about these orbitals. We need to not to study about GH. All those will have two electrons present in each of the orbitals. So S will possess in total two electrons, and we can say it will have total two subshells or two orbitals. Okay. Now, what about L equals 1? L equals 0 we discussed now. L equals 1 means ML value will have minus 1, 0, right? L equals 1 will have value of minus 1, 0 and plus 1. It will have 3 total orbitals. S will have 2 orbitals. As we discussed now, what were the 2 orbitals? 0 and 1. P will have 3 orbitals present in it. P will have 3 orbitals, minus 1, 0 and 1. This actually represents the orbitals. So P will have 3 orbitals. What about D? What about D? D we have as what we say as L equals 2. This is for D. It represents D. How many orbitals D will have? Let's see. If we take the ML value, we will have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, I mean plus 1 and plus 2. How many? 5 orbitals. D will have total 5 orbitals. So it will go on. This will go on. S will have a total of 1 orbital. P will have 3. D will have 5. F will have 7. It will go on. We need to understand only this SPDF. That much is necessary for us. Okay. S will have 1 orbital. Each orbital will have 2 electrons present in that. You must always consider one thing. So how much electrons S will have? 1 orbital in S means 2 electrons. P will have 3 orbitals, means 6 electrons in P orbital. D will have 5 orbitals, means 10 electrons. F will have 7 orbitals, means 14 electrons. Always remember this number of electrons, because in the coming days we will study how you can arrange the electronic configuration of a particular element on the basis of this orbital. On the basis of these orbitals, how will you arrange the electronic configuration? Okay. These were the 3 quantum number that was studied. These were the 3 quantum number that was studied up to a time that we meant that electrons were also necessary. But when we came to understand the significance of electron, the significance of electron's spin, electron is also revolving around the nucleus, right? It is revolving as well as it is rotating. So that must be also taken in account. So for that, a 4th quantum number was introduced. We had discussed the 3 quantum number: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic moment quantum number, represented by letters N. We need to only understand about N, L and ML. We understood about these. There is a 4th quantum number also present, which is also known as by the name electron spin quantum number, or MS. Electron spin quantum number, or MS. We can represent it with the help of S also, no problem in that. What does it says? It says on one thing, that the electron can spin in any ways. It can spin from left to right, right to left. It can be spin in any ways. So there will be a 2 spin state of electron, and it will always take a value of plus half over minus half. What does it determine the plus half over minus half? It says that if it is rotating in a clockwise direction, sorry, this is anti-clockwise. If it is rotating in a clockwise direction, if the electron is rotating in a clockwise direction, it will have plus half magnetic quantum, the electron spin quantum number. And if it is spinning in the anti-clockwise direction, if it is spinning in an anti-clockwise direction, do not consider it as jalebi. I am showing the spin only. If it is in anti-clockwise direction, it is minus half, represented by minus half. Okay, so this shows the spin of how does the orbital actually the electron actually spin. Okay, and most important thing you must consider, orbital will not hold more than two electrons, and these two electrons should have opposite spin. One orbital will have only two electrons. I told you, one orbital will have only and only two electrons. So what will happen to this s, p, d, f? They have many number of electrons. That's why we had studied about their subshells. S will have 0 and 1 subshell. P will have 0, 1, 2 subshell. Electrons will be present in these, right? D will have what we sorry we S will have this 0 0 subshell mainly. D will sorry P will have this subshell as minus 1, 0 and plus 1. In this the electrons will be split. What about D? D will have this minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. All these electrons will be split in these orbitals. Means each will have two electrons present in them. Each subshell will have, each orbital will have two electrons present in them. Okay. So regarding this 4 quantum number, what we had studied, n defines the size of the orbital, L actually defines the subshell, how much number of subshells can be present, M actually defines the orientation, the value of ml, and the electron spin actually defines the spin of the electron. It actually defines the spin of an electron. Okay, so here are some you just make the notes by your own as an homework, and do this as an homework, the problem 2.17 and 2.18. There is a value of n given 3. What are the total number of orbitals associated with the principal quantum number n equals 3? That you have to find. If n equals 3, we know the value of L. What are the value of L? It will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2. So for each you have to find its particular values of m, right? For 0, what will be the value? There will the value will be only 1. What about 1? The 1 value of 1 will be 0 and 1, right? Minus 1, 0 and 1, and for 2 it will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2, right? So in total how many orbitals will be present? That is the question. Total number of orbitals associated with n equals 3. How many orbitals the nth shell will have? How many orbitals? You can count it by yourself. 5 for L equals 2, 3 for n equals 1, and 1 for n equals 0. N equals 0 will be 0 actually, sorry. N equals 0. So how many total will be? There will be 9 orbitals present for nth shell. If it is so, then how many will be for n equals 4? How many orbitals will be for n equals 4? You try to find by yourself as a simple homework or rough work. Okay. You can also find it in an easy way. N equals 3 means if you take the 3 squared, you will get the value of the number of orbitals. You will get 9 orbitals. 4 square, you will get 16 orbitals. Which are those 16 orbitals? You try to understand by yourself. Next, the notation. You do it as homework, okay? SPDF notation of the particular quantum number. N equals 1, and if we just wipe it off, suppose n equals 1, we don't want to see that. N equals 2 and L equals 1. N equals 2 and L equals 1. N2 means 2. L1 means which shell it will be? 0 means for S subshell. P is for 1 subshell. D is for 2 subshell. 3 is for F subshell. So if we see like that, then L equals 1 will be for P subshell. So the orbital will be 2p. What about 4, 0? Directly I can say it is 4s. No doubt. What about 5 3? 5 3 means n 5 and L will be 3. L 3 means it will be F, 5F. And what about 3 2? 3 2 will be 3N and D, 3D, 4S, 5F, 2P. These are the answers. You can see 2P, 2P, 4S, 5F, 3D. Right. If we consider another one, n equals, suppose for example, n equals 5, you will not get that much bigger value. Suppose we take so much big value, n equals 6, let it be. And n L equals, we say 3. What will be the orbital? N equals 6 and L equals 3. What will be the orbital? So it will be 6. So what will be the orbital for L equals 3? 0, 1, 2, 3 if we consider. S, P, D, F. So 3 represents F. So L3 means 6F. 6F. Okay. So this is the scenario. These are the scenarios of principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and electron spin quantum number. All the quantum numbers had been discussed. In the coming class we will discuss more and more further. Next class we will discuss the shape of the atomic orbitals. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you understood the concept. Thank you, have a nice day, stay safe, and wish you a very warm Independence Day wishes.